Welcome back. Now, if you're anything like me, they told me that chickens would be therapeutic. They would be relaxing and good for the nerves. And you get some eggs out of it. But this free range deal has been a complete disaster for us. And instead of peace, we have total bird to chaos. So today we are entrusting the safety of our feathered overlords to a $225 chicken coop that I bought at 2 a.m. So in this beat up box, we are going to determine if it is a glorified palace for termites or if it's going to be a palace for these girls. But we're going to find out. In the event you are interested in purchasing this model for yourself, hey, maybe it fits your needs. Let me give you a shot of the model and serial number. This did come from Amazon, and this is the Ecolinier. That is the SKU, aka the SKU of an ECWD 150W. I don't know why the final product always weighs less than the Amazon box itself. It's a scientific anomaly. I need some backup.
Watch this. Alright, you see this? 42-year-old can't lift a box.
Now I'm sitting here trying to read these directions and figure out picture by picture what goes where, because I don't know the difference between an A screw and a B screw, and apparently the directions didn't feel like it was very important to make that clear which one was which. But I'm looking at some of this, and I'm looking at how thin this is, and I'll tell you what, I've seen thicker napkins at Chipotle. One raccoon stares at this thing too long and it's going to collapse like my diet on a Friday night. Now they give you this bag of screws that has 1,000,000 bags of little screws contained within this bag. Now I have 3 degrees, one of them being in drywallology, and I can't make heads or tails what's what. I don't know if that's a washer or a cry for help. So the instruction in this thing is pretty specific about not using power tools because you got the risk of cracking the wood. But since there's about 50,000 of these little screws, we're gonna send them home. He says, what if I break them?
What if you break the chicken coop using the screwdriver?
Well, then we break it.
Then you gotta get a new one.
Now folks, I'm going through this pain of putting this stuff together and reviewing these so you don't have to. I will be completely honest with you if it's something that I would buy again or recommend, or whether or not I would probably steer clear of it. Now I will say this, from the last chicken coop video that we had, it's about a year old and it's held up pretty well. It was one of the Temu rigs. It hasn't done too bad, but this one is bigger, and so these directions really are not great. But apparently once we get these 2 side panels completed, once we redo the side panels, then they connect to the front and the rear of A and C, whatever. We're just gonna wing it.
Hey, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Too late to return it now, ain't it?
Yep.
It says align this. Oh, and okay. Step 4 apparently assumes I have 4 hands and the patience of a saint. Beginners out there, if you're not questioning life when you're building these, you're doing it wrong. now that we've done everything wrong, I think we're on the path to doing things right. We've changed our life, right? We've turned over a new leaf. We're on the straight and narrow from here on out. Not really, because we got a whole lot of pieces left. But we haven't said any bad words or smashed our thumbs yet, so we're a step ahead. And this will complete basically the hen house.
Yeah, then you're gonna have to put the top on.
Oh, we got a long ways to go, pal.
Yep.
Now, if you choose this model, you need to be a little mindful of something here. The directions will tell you panel A, panel B. We've all seen that, right? We've all seen that. We've all built a
Like that one.
yeah, we've all built a dresser from Walmart. Maybe it's just this specific one, but it would have been nice if you would have put the stickers that says A, B, C, or D on the panels. Just saying. All right, Liam, what do we got next?
Connect wheels with roller connecting. Play E and F. Install the wheels to the main cage.
Okay, there's no E or F. So just use your best judgment.
That's what they say. E and F.
Okay, so I'm doing it wrong again. Okay, so we got to put the casters on these wood plates before we install these wood plates. You can't install the wood plates, then put the casters on.
That's so dumb.
So I'm gonna take it all back apart again. So make sure these little wood blocks here, you have to attach the casters to those before you screw them to the bottom of your bird box. Now, it doesn't tell you in the directions, but you're gonna need a 10mm wrench for the supplied screws that it gives you. Next step is to get these roosting bars in the bottom of this hen house. Nope, it fits. So now that our egg crates are officially built, minus the lid, we can go ahead and put our dividers on there. Now this particular model will have 6 different nesting bins, so I guess that's good for up to 6 hens. And these just slide right down in there. And believe me, they fit great. No, they don't. They don't fit great at all. Now these birds can have a little privacy. So now we are making really good time and rapidly getting to the end of the pile on this. And I got to admit, as much clever jokes and horsing around as we make about the directions, this particular model has been really easy to install. But we are going to cap off our nesting boxes with this supplied lid. It's pretty nice quality. They do have like a green shingle asphalt that's layered over. One nice thing that they did on this Amazon coop that they didn't do on the Temu coop is, and I can't say how long that this is going to last, but they did put a piece of clear plastic around the hinges. That way you have a little bit more of a watertight joint where the door swings up and down. Now, it may not affect this one that much anyway, because where it sits in the actual caged coop, that's going to be under a tarp, but that's a nice feature, and that's definitely appreciated that they give that to you. This will just sit like that. You can line up your hinge. Make sure that that works the way it's supposed to. That point there, flip up your hinges, and we can go ahead and attach our screws. And both of our nesting boxes will have lids ready to go. Crank it down until you hear the wood start splitting. No, don't do that. Don't do that. And as we taste the victory lane of the completion of this coop, we can start to size up our roof panels here. Now these don't have to be just dead perfect, because we will be screwing through the shingles just on the inside of this wood trim, and then we do have a supplied ridge cap that they give for this. So just line them up, get them square as you can, screw them down. And last but not least, to finish this little project up, is our ridge cap. Now these have already self-drilled holes in them, so that takes a lot of the guesswork out of the location. So let's go ahead and zip some screws into this we'll finish off this roof. So one of the last pieces to wrap this whole project up is to actually get the latches on our little chicken ramp so they can get up in and out of there. The whole thing's coming together really nicely. They give you a little pocket up here that's got a screen in it for protection.
Look, we're building a home for these girls, but a house is only as good as the internal health of the birds living in it. We spend so much time worrying about outside predators, but what about the issues that start inside their digestive systems? If your chickens are looking sluggish, losing weight, or let's just say the egg productions went on strike, their internal balance is probably off. And that's why I use Grubterra's Pec Purity. It's a powerful, all-natural herbal supplement designed to cleanse and support your flock's gut health without the use of harsh chemicals. The best part of Pec Purity, there is 0 egg withdrawal period. Usually when you treat your birds with the industrial stuff, you have to throw away eggs for weeks, and with this, you get to keep your breakfast and the birds get to keep their snack. And it's a win for everybody. It's loaded with ingredients like pumpkin seeds, diatomaceous earth, yucca, garlic, and oregano, basically a natural ingredient shield for their digestive tract. I give my girls the best feed I can find, I buy them supplements, and I keep the coop clean, but I'll be honest, I wasn't doing much for their gut health. And that's the thing, right? Everything I was monitoring was on the outside. What's going on the inside? I had no way to know, so I started looking into what I could add for gut support. And that's how I found Pec Purity. 1 scoop in the morning feed, and it fits right in with everything else I do. Now I feel like the routine actually covers everything inside and out. And to keep your flock's system clean and their energy high, head over to grubterra.com and use my code so you can get 20% off discount of your first purchase. And your girls will thank you for the extra boost.
So as soon as we got this thing finished, we had to cut it a little bit short because we had some weather come in that brought some intense winds last night. But that's the reason for the change of threads here. But let me give you a little walk around on this completed chicken coop, and let's talk about it. Is it worth the money? How long do we think it's going to last? You can be the judge of that. Well, the coop is finally finished. It looks surprisingly decent from 5 feet away. All right, let's just face it, the Amazon coop, at least it's standing. Let's do the raccoon shake test. Okay, so maybe you're not going to want to put this in a hurricane zone. End of the day, for 225 bucks, let's take a look at the features. It is nice in the fact that it does have 3 roosting bars, and it does have 3 separate nesting zones on each side. I will give it that. They did take into some consideration about water infiltrating the joints where the hinges are for the nesting box lids, so they put that plastic in there. However, I don't think that they're probably going to be very UV durable, so I think that plastic's going to be short-lived. I would like to rather had a prop rod, maybe one on both sides or one station more in the center, because when you prop up one side, that whole upper lid is so cheap that it actually flexes, and I think over time that's going to create probably separation right here. I already had to put an extra screw on the other side that way to hold that together, because right out of the rip it was starting to split right there. It is nice that they do give you a door on the back and the front for the chickens to get up in and out of the coop. However, I think it's a little bit redundant. It's more of a pain in the butt than anything. Now these latches and the hardware that comes with it, unfortunately, is pretty cheap, and you're further ahead to get something else. GoPro. One nice feature that it also has is it has a full catch pan in the bottom of it for all the droppings. So if you want to simulate that you're taking a cookie sheet full of cookies out of the oven to clean this out, you just pull that out and you can clean it. Now, word of advice, these aren't cookies, so don't eat that.
Said hello.
Which one's that, Shibo?
Cuddle.
That's Cuddle. Everybody, this is Cuddle. She's one of our laying hens, doing a fine job doing it as well.
She's small.
She's liking her peck purity, but she is a little smaller than Shebo, which is
Gigantic.
basically twin sister to that one. Shebo is quite a bit larger.
In there, laying an egg. Well, she's already laid it, but she's just laying on top of them.
Yeah, Shebo's in the hen house now, laying on top of an egg. And that one there is Gertie. She's our pride and joy, but she's a little camera shy.
From right there, literally 5 minutes ago, 2 of these. This one, it comes from Shebo, the bigger one. This one comes from Cuddle, the smaller one I showed you. And eventually, we will have like, what, 11 eggs?
Mm-hmm.
And they will be in this coop.
We're hoping to get to about a dozen a day.
Yeah, about a dozen.
So most importantly is, what if we gave this a rating, what are we looking at? Would I recommend it? If you're intermediate to maybe a little bit more advanced, this is not going to be the coop for you. But if you are a beginner, I would say that this is a solid C+. And the reason I gave it that score is because the ease of assembly was phenomenal. I got to give it credit. It was really easy to install, even though the pictures were less than desirable. It was pretty easy to navigate and figure out. But I give it a D- on the building materials used. I think that this is a little subpar as far as how thin the material is. And I will have to say that I think that the Temu coop that we did about a year ago is, even though it's a little harder to construct, it has lasted pretty well. I have to give it credit. So in the end, it does get us 6 nesting boxes instead of 2. And it does give them a little bit more room, especially with having those 3 roosting bars inside. I know that they're going to really love that. So I would give this probably about a 1 to 2 year life expectancy at most. Now, one thing that you could do if you're building one of these for yourself before you move it into your flock, you could take some polyurethane and spray it on the outside just to help seal it up and help it fight the weather a little bit more. But otherwise, just shove it in there, throw your wood chips in it, and let them go to town in it. But I think they're really going to enjoy it for now. And one plus is it is on wheels. So when we move this stuff around, it's not going to be so hard to just shove it across the yard. And I will give that a thumbs up on that. It's well thought through. I built a house, I lost 3 pounds of sweat, and I got a splinter in my thumb. But at the end of the day, we got free breakfast. If you like the video that you see today, please think about liking and subscribing. It helps us a lot and it keeps us going with these chicken coop videos and just us sharing our chickens and our journey with them. And we appreciate every one of you, and we will see you on the next video.